are the WJMBA news team reporting all news you need to know now. In breaking news, a terrorist attack just happened in Paris on November 13th. November 13th was the day that 129 people died at the hands of ISIS. This has been the most violent death since World War II. Ambulances were seen racing back in the area into the early hours on Saturday, and hundreds of survivors were evacuated into public buses. French television said Paris hospitals were overwhelmed with wounded. Mr. Hollande, the president of France, said, quote, that on his order of government had mobilized all the forces we can muster to neutralize the threats and secure all areas, end quote. The police ordered bystanders in the area of the city to get off the streets as officers mobilized. Government officials urged people elsewhere to stay indoors. The French Defense Ministry said in a statement that their air raid, coordinated with American forces, were led by 12 French aircraft, including 10 fighter jets, and has destroyed 2 Islamic State's targets in Raqqa, the radical group's self-proclaimed capital. There were no civilian casualties. A normal Friday night has now been strained forever in history as an attack of unprecedented scale.
Now we will take a look at how the terrorist attacks in Paris have affected us here.
These vicious attacks have sparked a security debate in the U.S. presidential race. The candidates are scrambling to create campaigns that appeal to the voters' newly erupted curiosity of how they will improve national defense. Quote, I think this incident in Paris will break down some of the false sense of separation from the experience the rest of the world is having with terrorism, end quote, said Senator Chris Coons, Democrat of Delaware. He predicted that the campaign would, quote, begin to focus as much on national security and foreign affairs as domestic matters and economic security, end quote. The situation in Paris could very well impact the outcome of the race. Popular Republican candidates, businessmen Donald Trump and neurosurgeon Ben Carson may lose a bit of traction for lacking previous political experience. The voters may turn from social and economic issues to national security. In the second Democratic debate, Bernie Sanders, a junior U.S. Senator from Vermont, opened by saying he was shocked and disgusted by what happened in Paris, and promised that, quote, together, leading the world, this country will rid our planet of this barbarous organization called ISIS, end quote. Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State, said that this election is about choosing a commander-in-chief who has a strong, detailed plan to stop terrorism. Even though Trump has no previous experience, his popularity has risen since the attacks on Friday. With his view of taking out ISIS for good, it seems like the people have found someone whom they believe will take care of the problem. Carson hasn't made a comment, but we will see how the Republicans fare at the next Republican debate, December 15th.
Now we will turn it over to Brooke to look at the upcoming weather.
Alexis, now here with the weather. I'm Brooke. Today's weather is currently 61 degrees and rainy. It feels like it's 45. The wind is 27 miles per hour and the humidity is 85%. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Today is currently 61 degrees and rainy. On Wednesday, the high is supposed to be 59 and the low is 41. We are supposed to have a 60% chance of rain. Then on Thursday, the high is 49 and the low is 32. But we get the sun back. Not for long though, because on Friday the high should be 47 degrees with a low of 29, looking at a 20% chance of rain. Then lastly, on Saturday, we have the high of 35 with 21 being the low, also adding a 60% chance of rain and snow mixture. So bundle up.
Now we will turn it over to Alexis to talk about a new addition to the Levy District.
In other news, the Levy District is once again expanding. Chick-fil-A is now under construction next to the newly opened Moe's Grill and Jason's Deli. Now the East Peoria and surrounding residents won't have to go all the way to Peoria to get their chicken fix. This Chick-fil-A also plans to feature a drive-thru, unlike most. The new restaurant plans to open in early January.
Now we will turn to Jessica Larson with our Senior Spotlight. Senior Spotlights will be covering Adam Stone. He was born on April 7, 1998, and was born and raised in Morton, Illinois, along with his 2 older brothers, Jake and Nick. Throughout high school, Adam was a part of the Morton Drumline playing the snare.
Drumline taught me the meaning of dedication and discipline, because to get through band, you definitely have to have a lot of dedication and discipline to really perform your best and get through the season, because that's probably part of the reason why Morton Band is so good. One of my favorite things about band is probably performing with friends and sharing the love of music together.
Adam is also part of the CHI program at the high school. He works at Lighthouse Automotive Buick GMC as a car detailer.
Cars. So pretty much what I do is I vacuum them, I wash them, and then I have to dry them, and then we spray tires and clean the windows. And we not only do that, but we also wash customer cars for free that go into the shop and get repaired.
One of Adam's main interests is cars. He owns a Mazda Speed 3 named Macy.
I'm a car enthusiast. I like to go to meets with my friends and talk to other people about their cars. And I also like doing upgrades and mods to my car to make it look and perform better than it did.
And that's our MHS Senior Spotlight. This is Jessica Larson with MHS Kiln.
In school-related news, Lincoln Elementary is celebrating 50 years in Morton. On Tuesday, November 10th, Lincoln Elementary School celebrated 50 years of learning in Morton. Throughout Lincoln's 50 years of teaching, they have only had 5 principals. In the school's first year, it had an enrollment of 288 with students with only 12 teachers. Today, they have over 474 children attending the school. With Morton schools expanding, more classrooms have been added to each elementary school over the years. Now Lincoln has almost 3 classrooms per grade and plans to expand. Now we will go back to Brooke to look at our 5-day forecast.
Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Today is currently 61 degrees and rainy. On Wednesday, the high is supposed to be 59 and the low is 41. We are supposed to have a 60% chance of rain. Then on Thursday, the high is 49 and the low is 32. But we get the sun back. Not for long though, because on Friday, the high should be 47 degrees with a low of 29, looking at a 20% chance of rain. Then lastly, on Saturday, we have the high of 35 with 21 being the low, also adding a 60% chance of rain and snow mixture. So bundle up.
Now we will look at our sports with Maddie Glad.
Patterdome, I'm Maddie Glatz with Morton High Sports.
The boys basketball team is off and running. Red and White Night kicked off Friday, November 20th, which is the team scrimmage for both boys and girls basketball. The boys team is looking to start off their season strong at the Thanksgiving tournament, where they have their first game in Monday in Lincoln. Senior Dan Bowl is excited about his last season as a Morton High Potter. He says, quote, "I am prepared for one last season, and I believe it's going to be a very successful one, and I'm very happy with the team," end quote. Jarrett Brown, head coach, guides the team positively and is hoping to see successful results this season. He says, quote, "We have 2 returning starters. We have a great junior class. We've got really good senior leadership. We've got some young kids that are really going to push our older kids. We've got a real committed group, too, that's committed to each other and a really close group. So we have really good chemistry and a really nice climbing culture," end quote. This should be a very fun season filled with wins and lots of points, especially coming from junior Ryan Altenberger, who was a leading scorer last year as a sophomore. Lots of man-to-man pressure is key to a successful defense, and senior Marcus Rossi brings that to the floor. Juniors Pat King and Tucker Anderson will also greatly contribute offensively and defensively. Red and White Night was great competition with lots of supporting fans. Come out and support your Potters for a home game Friday during the winter or the annual fundraising game ball run that supports the Children's Home in Peoria. Go Potters!
They are starting to practice for the new season. Practices started last Monday, and they are filled with running and drills such as shooting, dribbling, and defense to get the girls focused and ready for their upcoming games. Last year, the team had a 26-win campaign and are looking to continue that kind of win streak and ambition in this season too. They plan to mix the experience of the 6 players from last season with their lineup of newcomers to build a team that strives for greatness.
We believe in each other, and we're excited. We get along really well.
The girls have high hopes for this season and are already putting forth a lot of effort to become one again. Although these girls work hard, there are the occasional unavoidable challenges they will have to overcome.
Well, this year specifically, one of the starters, Jadison, dislocated her knee. She's out for a while, so that's something we have to overcome.
But this team is not letting that stop them.
It's like really hard working, and like we know what we have to do to like reach our goals, just to go to Redbird again. So like we work really hard.
I'm Alexis with MHS Kiln Sports.
And thank you for listening to WJMBA. We'll see you again tomorrow with more news.